Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my room of the Ancient Mariner. My name is Mike, and this is where I drink Iron Maiden Trooper beer and talk about rock and metal and all other forms of music that is good. And that brings me to today. I've been wanting to make a video about some non-metal records that I've picked up from the beginning of the year on. Kind of a thing I want to do to expand my horizons a little bit. Of course, I've always listened to a wide variety of music, but I'm primarily a rock and metal kind of guy. But I have a collection of almost everything. I like some some pop, adult contemporary, jazz, country. I listen to anything that I think is good and made with talent and heart. But one of the things I wanted to do since I've gotten back into kind of hardcore vinyl collecting is most of the record stores that I go to don't specialize in the type of music that I like. I mean, they'll have a section in there that'll have some more hip rock and metal, but they got a lot of new adult or not adult. I was going to say adult contemporary. That's not what I meant. Alternative, which actually could be adult contemporary, depending on what kind of how you look at things, and then indie. Folk, electropop, that kind of stuff. I'm not real into popular pop, contemporary pop music, but I do like alternative and indie and things like that. So what I wanted to do is I enjoyed going into a record store and just picking up something that is a lot different than what I would normally buy or listen to. So I like to try to go through the music that comes out each month and identify at least one album that's not rock or metal, not metal. We'll say not metal, but something that I would like that I can show the community and maybe start a conversation about what other types of music you guys like. I know a lot of the guys that I watch in the community are mostly metalheads, and that's their bread and butter. But I'm sure everybody's got their own tastes and diversity, and it'd be nice to see some of that. So with that in mind, let's get started. I want to show some non-metal albums that I picked up from the beginning of the year. Try to get one for January, one for February, one for March. But these have all come out since January of this year. So the first one I want to talk about is this one, and this is by the band Lucero. And it is When You Found Me. There's the back of it there. And Lucero is, I really like this. I was drawn to the album by the artwork, which, let's face it, we've been collecting vinyl for a long time. We know the first thing that catches our attention is the cover. This is a really nice cover, some nice, deep colors, earthy tone colors. But anyway, so Lucero is a band out of, I believe it's Austin, Texas, and they're Texas-based. I want to say it's Austin, which is kind of a hotbed for, young contemporary artists. And Lucero plays kind of an Americana rock, definitely some country roots, but it doesn't sound country to me. I think that if you like to be most at a high popular level, like Tom Petty, Bruce Springsteen, those kinds of things. Springsteen in his rootish sound, not his New Jersey rock sound. But even maybe John Cougar Mellencamp, just to pick some of the heavy hitters in that kind of sound. I think that you'd like Lucero. There's some really good guitar-driven songs on this, and some soft interludes, and really soulful vocals. And the songwriting is excellent. These songs tell stories, and that's really what music is all about. To tell a story. Let's see if the hype sticker says has any. Pardon me. Old age. Let's see. You found me, now buy me. You'll be hard-pressed to find a songwriter in alt country and Americana who doesn't say Lucero and frontman Ben Nichols is not a significant influence on them. That's saving country music. So, I mean, that's all alt country. I mean, like I said, there's some country vibes. I don't think it necessarily sounds like country material, but I really, really like this record. And if you're, curious about that country flavored Americana folk rock, I'd highly recommend you check this out. Again, this is Lucero, When You Found Me. 30 Tigers Records, Liberty and Lament, and I've never heard of this record label. Anyway, really, really good record, and I'd recommend it if you're looking for for a change of pace. The next one is what we're listening to now. If you can hear it, I'll turn it up too loud. But this is the newest from Edie Brickell and New Bohemians. This album is called The Hunter and the Dog Star. And you might recall Edie Brickell had her breakout hit What I Am way back in 1989. So this really goes back to my youth. I was 19 years old when that album came out, and that was a time where the late 80s, the thrash metal was still strong in 88, 89, but in 90, 91, it started to fade a little bit to grunge. And Edie Brickell was on the forefront of this kind of new alternative rock style. So what you're going to get with Hunter and Dog Star is not anything really too different from what she's done throughout the course of her career. But what really drew me to this album was just the overall vibe of it. It's very happy sounding, and the songs are exciting and driving as far as tempos go, and musicianship is top notch. And Edie's voice is kind of captivating, and it's relaxing, and it's just a very nice listen to put on the platter and relax a little bit. I really want to point out longtime guitarist Kenny Withrow really shines on this record. There's some really good guitar work throughout the album. And, not the kind of guitar work, flashy, heavy guitar work that we're used to in the metal world. Just very nice, soulful playing, delicate, kind of jangly, passages here and there. But the guitar is prevalent throughout the album. And it's a really, really good record. And I was really happy to get it. And I like the way it sounds on vinyl as opposed to on my digital Apple player. So again, that's Edie Brickell, New Bohemians, Hunter and Dog Star. This next one, this one was, again, a band I had never heard of. Got quite a bit with this package here. This is a band called The Uppers. The album is TV Priest. It's on Sub Pop. This is kind of typical UK, I don't know what it's called, post-punk, pop. It's not pop punk, but the best way for me to describe this is it's singer based, but the music is not necessarily electronic, but it's driving, but it's not sonically overpowering. Call me crazy, but I'm a fan of unique vocal styles, and kind of I think try to get the band members' names here. Let me put the record here. There's a big poster that comes with this that has the lyric sheet and all those different things. Well, let's see. I'm going to show you because this is really cool. I don't want to tear it up, but so the vocalist is Charlie Drinkwater. Should have remembered that name. But let's get this big giant poster with the lyrics. Makes it kind of a pain to follow along with it. This is a ginormous poster. But anyway, I kind of get the vibe with him, like if this were a pop punk, post punk Neil Fallon from Clutch. You think about one of the things I really like about Clutch is I love Neil Fallon's unique vocal style, and he can take a song and just make a song with his vocal stylings alone. And then when you throw in the master musicianship of everybody else, and then you've really got something special with Clutch. But this guy's voice is very unique. He doesn't have a lot of range, but all the songs are interesting, and they keep you engaged. It kind of reminds me maybe like a 21st century Talking Heads, that kind of thing. It's you just have to listen to it to really get a feel for it. And I recommend checking them out on one of your streaming platforms. Again, the band's Uppers. The album is TB Priest. There is a video for The Big Curve, which is the lead-off track and my favorite track on the album. And then talking about like the guitar work. I think it's the closing track, Saintless, where it's a little bit different than everything else on the album, but it showcases the guitar and a little more delicate musicianship than some of the other more driving punk sounds on the album. But I like this. Check it out. I'd recommend it. And then the last one I want to show for today, this is the most recent one I picked up. This is probably more in line with what I might show other material. This is straight, I think it's just straight modern hard rock. But this is a Canadian band, and I want to say this is their second or third record. But anyway, I'm talking about Sam Coffey and the Iron Lungs. Really like this album cover too. His name on the back. And they characterize their sound as kind of like a post-punkish thing too. I'm not halfway through my albums. I haven't cracked my Trooper beer yet. Here in the Room of the Ancient Mariner, which if you're not familiar, that's named after a classic track from the band's classic album, Power Slave. I have a lot of Iron Maiden material in my room. There's Judas Priest behind me there too. But I've got a couple corners in the room. We've got the Maiden corner, which is where I usually sit when I talk about the metal releases. And then I've got the Vinyl Junkie corner over here, the Vinyl Junkie Lounge, where we can talk about all things music and vinyl. I do like to talk about music while I'm having my Trooper beer. It's refreshing. A little pricey, but hey, gotta have an angle, and this one's mine. Anyway, back to Sam Coffey. This is really, really good modern guitar driven. I think pop rock. I hear such a wide variety of influences on this record. At one point, I know there's times where I totally hear like Cheap Trick, and so they pay homage to that kind of classic pop punk sound, of which Cheap Trick was I believe the originators of it, and possibly the best purveyors of that style. But you hear that. I hear odes to Thin Lizzy in here, from the style of Thin Lizzy that I also kind of think you hear in I mentioned earlier, New Jersey style Bruce Springsteen rock. I mean, when you listen to The Boys Are Back in Town and listen to some of the stuff off Born to Run, and that kind of Bruce Springsteen era, you hear that kind of vibe, that we're out with the boys telling stories, listen, rocking music. It's got that same kind of that soul and feel to it. So there's elements of that in here, but you get plenty of loud guitars, raucous vocals, nice syrupy hooks and choruses, and catchy songs. The album flows from top to bottom. It doesn't ever get boring, and the songs rock. And it's interesting to me to listen to it and pick out the different influences. Like I said, I hear everything from the Cheap Trick to Thin Lizzy to a little bit of classic punk rock. To, I think remember hearing maybe some little Def Leppardisms, 80s pop metal, the whole gamut of that. But that really is why it drew my attention to it. So, of all the albums I showed you, this one's probably more up my rock, rock alley. I think hard rock fans, pop rock fans will find something to like here, and I think even the metalheads might find elements of this that they enjoy. So, all right, so I think that's all I want to show today. There's one more that I've waiting for. I really wanted to show it. It's kind of, I think, one of my favorites of the non-metal genre, but it's yet to come. I had to pre-order it, and then I sold out. Either it's hard to get some of these vinyl records anymore because the hobby is so hot again. But anyway, I'll show it when it comes in. But let me know what you think. I hope you've enjoyed seeing some of these albums that are a little outside of the box of what I'm normally have on the channel, what I normally like to listen to. And I'd really like to see in the comments what you think of these records, what some of the non-metal records that you've been listening to, or some different genres that you enjoy that followers of your channel might be surprised that you're into. If you're new to my channel, please like, subscribe. I'm inching close to having 100 subscribers. I think that's really just I'd like to get to 100, but really I hope people watch my videos, enjoy watching them, and I like the interaction. And like I said, the whole reason I've set up the room here is so that I can kind of relax, sit back, have a drink, and talk about rock, metal, and all forms of other good music. I am a metalhead. I hope you are too. And if you are, let them know you're metal. Bang your head, throw the goat, and I'll catch you next time.